Marilyn Devnish here from transformationstm.com, and I'm going to share with you day 3 of what has been a crazy roller coaster journey. So yesterday I talked about the piece regarding the crushing disappointment, and today it's still been ups and downs, but I'm in a place now where I would definitely say there are glimmers of hope. And I think what has contributed to that is definitely having more clarity, because when I started with this on Sunday night stroke Monday morning, there were bits of information that I was missing, and I was waiting until a meeting that I'm having kind of probably this Saturday with the owner of the gallery to get that information. And this evening I was like, look, why don't I just go to Guru Google like I normally do and find the information myself, which is exactly what I did. And so this one, it's kind of a pretty much a change of focus, because now what we're talking about, we're not just talking about, you know, art per se. What we're talking about is art and autism, and this all started with me donating my time to run a free one-day workshop at a gallery in London. And the person who is organising it, a friend of mine, Tally, since I've known her, she's been an advocate for autism because her son has autism. So I knew about that side of her work. What I hadn't realised is that the gallery I was in, and it's for an organisation, non-profit called Autistic UK, what I hadn't realised is their connection with autism and the fact that they are funding work and projects to give people with autism a sense of independence, a place to actually work and create art, funding gallery spaces like the one I was at this last weekend. And so that's put everything in a whole different light. So it's gone from having this crazy idea about just paint and art to the bigger picture, really, of funding people's independence. And for me, that's kind of major. So the piece that you saw when you came onto this Facebook Live, this does not do it justice. It's probably a good 3 foot by 3 foot, if not more, and the art there is absolutely amazing. You've got a few what I would call controversial pieces, really interesting pieces. When I go back, I'm going to play with the one about Brexit, because there's some really cool stuff. And if you are going, this is what the outside of the gallery looks like, because thankfully I had a street shot visual, so I knew what I was looking for, but you have to go straight past the football field and hang a right, but as you do, you will see it. But what I want to do is I want to just tell you a little bit about the team that are behind Autistic UK. So the guy you can see on the far right is a guy called, oh, hi Tally, just talking about you, your picture's just come up on screen. So Tally Nothy has just said, the work they do is invaluable, your support is priceless, thank you so much for all your support. Oh, that's really sweet. Right back at you, because I wouldn't have been at the gallery, Tally, if it wasn't for you inviting me along. So, you know, thank you. And Tally, I don't know if you want to just type in a little bit about, you know, I don't know if you have a website yourself, because it's something I mean, I've always, since you attended the photo reading workshop and we talked about autism, I've always known about your work since that time. However, if there's a website link that you want to put in, or if there's somewhere you want to direct people to, please put that in the comments thread as well. That would be amazing. And so I was just kind of re-looking at the crowdfunding that I was doing, because you know when you know you're missing something, but you kind of go, do you know what, I know I'm missing a piece, I'll get it when I get it, I'm just going to go ahead regardless. But this evening it all made sense, and Tally very kindly connected me with someone who looked at what I was saying, and she picked up exactly what I was thinking in terms of the bits I knew I was missing, the bits she picked up on and said, these are missing, you need information about this. So I've just updated everything and added that information in, because for me that's like the missing piece of the puzzle. It's like the big why. And for those of you who saw the crowdfunding page yesterday, it's very different now than it was yesterday. I had a bit in there about, you know, why and what's the money for, but I knew that wasn't it. I hadn't quite nailed it yet. And this evening, I think I'm getting closer to nailing it. So let me just, Tally, when you say JJ, is JJ the person who did the review? I won't say any more than that in case it's not, but I'm now curious. So that would be wonderful if you could let me know. But I kind of thought, okay, while I wait for the information, why don't I do what I always do, which is go to Guru Google. So let me just tell you a bit about Autistic UK. And really, I'm just telling you now, actually, I think I can show it to you as well. Let me, if I do this, you should, I believe, be able to see my screen with me now. So, but I'll read it because I'm sure it's going to be pixelated. So it says Autistic UK is a non-profit mentoring program for emerging artists, staffed by highly qualified volunteers. Volunteer means you don't get paid. Highly qualified volunteers who mentor and support exceedingly talented young artists, some of which have been diagnosed with autism. Each artist has already achieved much critical acclaim by demonstrating highly imaginative work. And then they're talking about the wonderful places, Royal Berkshire Hospital, Umbrella Charity, all the places they've exhibited. And Colin Sugden, you've just seen his photograph, he was far right. So I'll tell you a bit about Colin. It says Colin is a retired leading teacher who specialised in the arts. He is an accomplished artist in his own right and has over 30 years of experience working with children and young people with special educational needs through the therapeutic arts. What really also blew me away, no, we'll leave that for now, thank you. I know I'm running a lot of tech on this at the moment. What really blew me away were their objectives. So short term, it's to develop the artistic abilities, commercial awareness, communication and social skills of our foundation artists whilst developing the career opportunities of our various guest artists. Medium term is to build on the success of our 16 previous successful exhibitions, organising the next major show. So the major show, I've just been to one which is started on the 3rd of August. It's running right through until the 23rd of August at the Crow's Nest Gallery, Crowthorne Road, London, W10 6RP. Nearest tube station is Latimer Road, and it's, I don't know, 5 or so. I walk really fast, so let's just say it's 8 minutes walk from Latimer Road, but if you walk as fast as I do, it's about 5 minutes. But what really blew me away this evening, as I was then looking and doing a bit of research about them, they're long term, and it's to finance an independent artistic community. Hang on, keep in, don't show me again. It's to finance an artistic community with public spaces where our artists can live, work and exhibit in a secure and supportive environment. Our ultimate goal is to enable our foundation artists to become truly independent contemporaries and not be reliant on state benefits. And when I read that bit about independence and about people living and working and doing their thing, that absolutely blew me away. And I'm like, okay, that's the piece I was missing in terms of why would I go to the trouble of trying to raise this money? And actually, my brain is just like, never mind trying to raise the money. Why am I going to the trouble of raising the money? And this right there is kind of where it's at for me. And I guess if I think about my own work in terms of what I do with transformations, and that's now, this October will be 18 years, it's very much about giving people a sense of freedom from the constraints of their own mind. And this organization is giving people practical freedom by supporting their ability to tap into their creativity. So I absolutely, just love that. And actually, while we're on screen share, let's see. So while we're on screen share, so the page is markedly different now in terms of if you saw it earlier on today. So, and what I'm saying here, and I genuinely mean it, I mean it, whether you can donate £1, $2, a tenner, a fiver, 100, 1,000, all contributions are welcome and all contributions are greatly appreciated. And if you are not in the position to donate, what I'm asking, if you feel so inclined and if you have an interest in supporting others or in supporting the art or in supporting people with autism, just share the link. If you're, on this page, it's got a share button, it's got a tweet button, it's got a donate button, but, more than happy, share the link, tweet the link, because it may just be that if you can't or are not in a position or don't want to, because not everybody wants to, you can't donate yourself. It may be that you will share the link with family, you'll share the link with friends, you'll share the link with your network, and somebody else might read it and go, actually, I could help with that. So that would be really, really absolutely amazing. If you go to the GoFundMe page, again, you can kind of meet some of the team. I put a little write up there about who the people in the photo are. You get a little look around the gallery as well, just to give you a sense of what's going on and what's there and what's on display, and just some of the kind of gorgeous pieces of art. So, and I think the thing that struck me today, because where the crushing disappointment came in last night, because I've done this crazy mathematical formula in my head, and I was like, so I've got 4,855 Facebook friends, and 2,150 followers, and blah blah blah. And if they all just gave me £1 or $1, well, I've met the £5,000 target by the end of the day. Cool. And then of course that didn't happen. So it was really kind of disappointing. But one of the things I reminded myself of, and it was like the old, the famous quote, but it really is, a big target really does start with those first steps. So I could either sit and be really disappointed that I've raised 150 quid and I want to raise at least 5,000, but ideally 10 or 20k. Or I could just go, do you know what? You've started. You've taken those first steps. And that's what it's all about. And who knows where it will go from here? That cannot be predicted, but I've started. And so that was the kind of key realization for me today. And in terms of just getting a grip and kind of going, you know what, Marilyn, come on, don't be silly. So it's been a really interesting journey, to say the least. It's been an emotional roller coaster. Hi JJ. Oh, that's brilliant. JJ, thank you so much. Because exactly what you said, I don't know if you were tuning in before, but exactly what you said, when I messaged back to Tally, I said she's absolutely spot on and correct, because that's exactly what I was thinking myself. I just didn't have the information to fill in the gaps, because I've been kind of waiting for the meeting, and then I was like, look, just go to Google. So you're absolutely right, you're absolutely spot on. It was a big old ramble because I was sidestepping the bits that I didn't have the official information about, because I didn't want to just make stuff up. But it's like, duh, I should have just done what I always do. So JJ, thank you so much for that. It's the focus and the targeting and the bit that I was definitely kind of missing. And it kind of prompted me to just kind of go, look, why are you waiting, woman? They must have some stuff online, surely. And that's that. So that was absolutely brilliant, wonderful, amazing. Hang on, let me do you know what? First, I'm going to have a drink of water. And also, while I'm here, I just want to say thank you. But even with the crazy GoFundMe page, I just want to really say thank you to the people who donated. Roy Day was the very first person, so he's kind of cemented in my memory as my first contributor, and it's just been really lovely. I had a couple of people who are not even based in the UK contribute as well, so I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, and a couple of people are saying, am I documenting the journey? I said, well, yes, I am, because I've done a few Facebook Lives about it. I've done a few blogs about it. So I will definitely keep you posted. I optimistically, and this is just a construct of my own mind, but I optimistically said I'd love to hit the target by the end of this week. But I do have a bit more time. The show is open until the 23rd of August with regards to this one. And there's no reason why it has to come to an end, but I will definitely keep you all posted with regards to how it's going, what's going on, and how the fundraising is going. And also, I just got to say a really big shout out to Sita Jones, who this evening tagged me on a post on a video. I was like, oh cool, she's tagged me on a video, I'll watch it, because I've been following Sita's health journey, and she absolutely blew me away. It was actually a video of her telling people about the GoFundMe page and giving them the link. So I'm going to share that to my page as well. I've already, actually it's probably on my page as well, because Sita has tagged me on it. But Sita, I just want to say thank you so much, because I hope you don't mind me saying, but when we first met, I think you would have been reluctant to even write anything, never mind go on camera. So that was a really wonderful and pleasant surprise. So what I'm also going to do is I'll put the link to Sita's video in the comments and in the description of this video as well, so you can watch it. That just blew me away this evening. So thank you for that. And the link to my page, and it's so funny because you can set up what can you call it, like a permalink for your GoFundMe page. And I looked at it on Monday and I thought, I don't know what this page is about yet. And so I haven't done the bit where you create the permanent link. So at the moment, it's a real mouthful. It's www.gofundme.com/upcoming-artist-AM for Mother P-the haunting eye. You know, it's a real mouthful. And I didn't like it, but because I didn't know what the page was about, even though I created it, I left it. And I'm so delighted I left it, because tonight's piece from Tally and JJ, and you know, rethinking it, looking at the focus, looking at what it's really all about over and above a piece of art, it now means that when I choose that permalink, it's going to be absolutely spot on. I think it's going to be autism and art. I think that pretty much sums up what it is for me, and I've just got goosebumps as I said it. So I think that's what it might be. So I'm really pleased on Monday that I resisted the temptation, because I'm like, I just knew I wasn't ready yet. I knew it wasn't right. I knew it wasn't where I wanted it to be. So I just want, oh, and Sita, Tally says, brilliant video, thank you. And Sita says, you're very welcome, good luck with it. You never would have thought I would have done something like that. And also thank you for sharing my health blog. Sita, you are more than welcome. I'm just absolutely delighted for you with everything that has happened with the exams, and the studying and the health, and you know, the way your focus and your energy has changed. That's just been absolutely amazing to watch over the last few months. So congratulations and well done. And yes, so if any of you want to support me on this journey, share the link. If you know, if that's all you can do, that's fantastic. And I know people sometimes think you just say, I genuinely mean it, because I'm thinking back to myself, because I've seen, you know, sometimes I think Facebook has this birthday campaigns donation thing, and other times people are raising money for this and that, and I don't always participate. There are times I look at it and go, that's nice, and then I don't do anything about it. So I actually know that there are times you're just so busy, or you're just not in a position to contribute, or it's not your thing. So, or you kind of, and I remember about 7 or 8 years ago, I was having a really tough time. Somebody that I really like sent me a link to a thing. I looked at my bank account and thought, darling, it's either you or me. And at the moment, it's got to be me. I'm really sorry. And I looked at their page and I actually felt embarrassed. Just to contribute a couple of pounds, because I thought, oh, they're going to think I'm a tightwad. And so I didn't contribute anything at all, because I'd then written this whole narrative about what they would think about me if I just donated a couple of pounds, and what it would say about me as a person, and I really should donate 50 or 100 pounds, boom, 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 boom. And so I'm thinking about all of that now. That's why I keep reiterating, I really have no judgment. For those of you in the UK, we've got a supermarket chain called Tesco, and their strapline, they don't actually use it so much anymore, I've noticed with their new adverts, but their strapline used to be every little helps. It's like every penny counts. And for me, that's totally where I'm at with this campaign. Every single pound is valuable. So I have no narrative attached to who donates what. I am just happy and delighted and excited for every single donation, full stop, regardless of the amount. And I'm also happy and delighted and excited for every single share of the link, and almost kind of hit the ceiling when I saw Sita's video. So whatever you can do, how to help. And there was a song that was playing in my mind when I was first creating the original text for it. And it was the song, I just heard the line, I don't care how you get here, just get here if you can. And I felt the same about the donation. I don't care how you help, I don't care how you support, just support if you can. So, you know, that's it. That's all I've got to say for this evening about this crazy journey. I'm sure it's going to continue to have its ups and downs and its realizations, but today has been a major learning curve. And you know, yesterday, because I was thinking, I know I'm not doing this. I don't know if there's a right and a wrong way to do it, because I'm sure people have just written one line on the GoFundMe page and cleaned up. But yesterday, to the point where I was like, I really don't think this is right. I actually spoke to the head of digital at GoFundMe, the head of UK Digital, to just get some steers and some pointers as well. And just a little tip. She said, well, you know, you do know you can add photographs to your page, and you can put things in bold. I didn't actually realise that. I hadn't scoped it out fully enough, so that was just cool in terms of the aesthetics. And then the piece that I got today. So it's all been a learning curve. For those of you in my membership group, I'm going to be breaking this down on a number of different levels, from a money and financial point of view, from a self-esteem point of view, from a courage point of view. We've got a lot of stuff going on here. So for those of you in my membership group, if you're interested, we're going to do a breakdown of this, and I'm going to share the deeper learnings that sit underneath this, because it's been quite a revelation for me as well. So, you know, we'll do some stuff on that. But oh, that's cool. Sita says, I have a very good feeling about all of this, and thank you, Tally and Marilyn, so much. You're most welcome. And so, yeah, cool. It's a journey. It really is a journey. And I totally, when I say about the 1,000 steps, that's totally where I'm at. You know, I'm looking at the big number. I'm looking at the little number where I am now. I'm taking a deep breath. I'm like, you know what? Don't let that daunt you. Everybody starts somewhere. And this is the first time I've ever kind of done any sort of crowdfunding, raising money. I mean, apart from, you know, doing the fundraising for the Samaritans, which was actually, I mean, that in itself was a crash course in human nature. They were singing, they sing carols. I think they still do, but when I was a Samaritan volunteer, and I know for several years afterwards, so when I actually helped them out with it, I was no longer a volunteer, but they sing Christmas carols in what was the Harlequin Centre. It's now called Into Watford. And then and I was one of the people going around with the tin, like the bucket thing, collecting money for the singers, and that in itself, so that's the only fundraising in terms of just to the general public I've ever done. And it started from getting absolutely nothing until I figured out a strategy. And within 20 minutes, I went from getting zero to having people spending anything up to 30 to 60 seconds trying to intricately fold their notes, their £5 notes, their £10 notes, their £20 notes. One guy gave me a £50 note, and all I did was slightly change my tactic and slightly change what I said to people. And it went from people making a beeline to get away from me and not make eye contact, to people actually putting paper money in my bucket. And I know when I was taking my bucket back, everybody else's bucket was really, you know, you could hear all the change. My bucket almost sounded empty because it was full of paper notes. And I mean, like, somebody actually stood in front of me and intricately did the thing so he could get his £50 note into my bucket. So that's been my only experience with crowdfunding and fundraising. So I'm going to be a little bit easy on myself in terms of, you know, Marilyn, it's the third day. It's all a journey. It's something new, slightly outside of my comfort zone, particularly also with the art stuff as well. However, when I break it back down to basics, I'm all about human empowerment and helping people kind of move on and move forward, move up and grow. And kind of, I'm always talking about limitless, I'm always talking about neuro success, and that's really kind of what my life is about. And that's also in terms of what they're doing with both the up-and-coming artists and also the artists with autism. That's what Artistic are all about. So I feel much better now about the synergy of that and where it's all heading and the direction we're going in. So thank you for your donations. Thank you to everyone who shared the link. Thank you for Sita for the video tonight. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, JJ, for your wisdom and your words of kind of focus, clarity, support. Thank you, Tally, for organising all of this. Thank you, Colin Sugden, for holding the space. And Colin is there most of the time, I think, between now and the 23rd of August. So please go down. It's open, it's free. You don't have to make an appointment. I believe they open at 12:30 in the afternoons. They're also running a series of workshops on various days. If you go to Tally's page, and Tally is Tally, L for Lima. She's on here as well, Nothey. So look up Tally as well. Keep an eye on her page, Artistic UK _UK. I've also got a Facebook page for the gallery opening. that's kind of, you know, what you're looking for. And they have had artwork from an incredible array of people. Some of those are already very famous artists in their own right. So all exciting stuff. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That's a summary of where I'm at on day 3, and I will catch you all later. And also, if you feel so inclined, share this video if you know anyone who might be interested, but definitely, you know, share the GoFundMe page link. So I'll catch you all later. Bye bye.